I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of lost in this jumbo coin sauce right now.
We're starting off with the Gengar ban. This is criminal. Teams hate us, and they hate me, and they hate fun. But here we go. Dream Eaters are not going to start at a score 2. They will start at a score 0, as we do have this best of 3. Be Gengar and Mimikyu banned. So Gengar level 100. Certainly going to have to find something brand new to play these days. The bans on Dream Eater's side will be the Blaziken and the Slowbro, two obviously incredibly powerful competitive tools. That does mean they give Kratos that Charizard without a Slowbro potential to shut it down.
Yeah, that might have been an oversight here. Dream Eaters are about to learn today. Hopefully, between this Umbreon and Blissey core that they did do so well with Game 1, they're able to solve this Charizard mystery. I know it hasn't been in this form for long, but wow, it is powerful.
So I don't mind the outrange it kind of strategies that some people would approach. One Pokemon that I think kind of really hurts Charizard these days, and maybe it's just not strong enough, I'd like to see some Glaceon. It's been a hot minute since that Pokemon has been really, really popular. I think it plays crazy good into Charizard. I would like to see some of that, but who knows? Ravage does have the chance, and there you go, they finally hovered. I was going to say, they finally have the chance to pick up, finally, a game ago, they have the chance to pick the Ceruledge yet again. Now, Johnny Noms, number 2, because in draft order they will be number 2. We're going to pick their attacker. They're going to take the Mew. So, Flareon's going to be on the Cramorant this time. Uncontested spot in the attacker role, but they are going to select the Mew.
I liked, if Johnny Noms is solid enough, I like that. It's a great way to get a stellar Pokemon and also cut off a favorite here. Listen, are the juicers just going after some of these players like top picks here? We've got Machismo grabbing Zeraora. We had the Absol last game out of Kratos. Unstoppable forces they're trying to deal with.
I guess. I mean, Tetsion's the Zera player who was eliminated, so it's truly like a martyrdom pick if that is the case, but I mean, I'm down for it. We've been seeing more and more Zeraora. I was watching, I think it was the Unity Clash Western Finals, where Nachos from EU was just carving it up on the Zeraora against this Orange Juicers team, by the way, so maybe Machismo got the download in those games and started trying to put some practice to their own beat of the Electrical Cat. I think that would be pretty exciting. Will be another repeat on this Talonflame Deus Ex, and I have to admit, I have not liked what I've seen so far out of this particular Fire Flying type. We're going to have 3 Fire Flying types in the game. That's crazy.
It's too many. I can't even get a Pelipper.
One needs to be eliminated. Which one?
Well, it might be Gengar level 100 if they don't stay on top of the level lead here in this. Every time they go in for an engagement, they're going to get absolutely folded. Now, we did see a couple solid plays out of Shimmy earlier tonight on the Talonflame that was finding a lot of value against the Orange Juicers specifically. So, if Gengar level 100 again can lead the pace car, be the pace car for the levels in this lobby, I think they have an opportunity to leverage it.
For sure. And they have that unbelievably strong Umbreon and Blissey core, right? For all of that support that they were able to put up before. 3 gold badges right now on the side of Dream Eaters. We're talking about ranked grinders these days. This team, I think, absolutely fits that bill. But either way, I was mentioning, they got the Blissey, they got the Umbreon, a ton of healing, a ton of tankiness. The only thing is, they only got the Ceruledge, who's there for self-sustain this time. Mew, not as well known for that role as maybe the Mimikyu was in the previous match we saw this comp.
Well, Orange Juicers immediately going to send Kratos to the middle, and I think that's the right call. Of course, Charizard needs to get online quickly. So, how are Dream Eaters going to respond? They've got a little bit of an earlier comp, the way I'm looking at it, and can they actually make that happen for themselves and find this lead that they need to make sure Gengar 100 has?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of, I think unfortunately for them, pretty safe play. You don't want to give an unnecessary KO over to Kratos on the Charizard. If you get them closer to the Unite move, even by a marginal amount, it could be devastating for you to deal with. And then there's the Zeraora, who's known for some really tricky stuff. Volt switch pulls, crazy damage out of nowhere. Slash in the early game's pretty strong, and Ravage barely makes it back to the goal zone.
Well, I'm glad they did, because if they go down there, that is just too much fuel to the fire. You're essentially, by ignoring one problem, causing another, and that Zeraora can definitely be a Pokemon that, if ahead, can be oppressive.
Ooh, Orange Juicers showing the Charmeleon bottom so that maybe they could bait Dream Eaters into thinking that that's where their push is going to be, and then mount up for a 4-player push into the top side already.
Nice response by Dream Eaters, though, and they immediately dust the Zeraora on this engagement. Kratos going to get out, which is just a good sign. Dream Eaters taking the W in that exchange.
Yeah, 1 KO, but it's still a W's a W. Big chase down. Gengar level 100 going to take the KO, but the Electro Ball from Johnny Nom's doing a ton of work there. And nice play. Cramorant goes down. Gengar level 100 closer and closer to this Talonflame Evo.
Yeah, and doing it in an impactful way, right? They're not just living on their side of the map farming. They're going to try and get on top of the Zeraora and get another KO zoinks. Gengar level 100 is just built different tonight, and they are doing it. Talonflame looks a heck of a lot better now than it has so far tonight.
I don't think Machislo expected the Talonflame to still be roaming in the enemy side. I mean, there's a central area to clean up, but Gengar level 100 is a bit of a one-time use on their own central area, it seems, in matches we've seen so far.
Nice engagement here, going straight for it. Fly up, fly down. Cram up, cram down. Mimikyu, excuse me, Mr. Mime in the next one up here. But Kratos has hit Charizard, but they're just level 7. And matching them is this Talonflame, but doing it by being impactful on the map.
Exactly. Those flies are great for KOs, but they're also just good for scouting missions as well. Talonflame, well known for being that speedster role, can fill that role in more ways than one. It's a great escape option, especially when there's no mean look to shut you down. Psychic walls, not that tough to deal with when you can just fly sky high.
Of course, nice little whirlwind there by the Cramorant. They're going to try and secure everything they can. Do a pretty good job. It's really just the pressure of Johnny Noms up front that's able to contest in any real way. Player hanging out, feeding eggs to seeing what they can do. Now, is Ravage going to be able to successfully take over on this 2v1? They are a player down, but they are some levels up.
Yeah, and Kratos is feeling quite good about their current level advantage, already at level 9. Reminder, like, the clear of the central area has just been so slow from Dream Eaters. Johnny Nom's up in danger right now.
Yeah, immediately engaged, pinned against the wall, and KO'd quickly. With the Umbreon down, we've got a Suplex Sam's space finding their target. Clutched out is the Regirock by Gengar 100, but really, they're just burning them down in the backline. Kratos didn't care about the objective whatsoever, and they're seeing this goal zone as their prize. Ravage is here, though. They're jumping right in, and Cram is right gone. Going straight onto the next target here. They're trying to hang tight. They're trying to hang out, but Zeraora gets dusted finally, and Ravage gets a KO streak of 2 showing up just in the nick of time.
I feel like every Mayhem night, there's 1 or 2 games that make me so excited to pick up my phone and play the game again, and Sarah Ledge for Ravage has been that moment for me. I want to play this Bitterblade set so bad. Sarah Ledge is looking amazing right now and competitive. That Unite move, crazy good. Sarah Ledge was like just right up in the face of one enemy target, and they still fired that thing off. Why not? It's an amazing tool. Use it while you got it.
I agree completely. Now they are able to successfully rotate up and actually hold their ground against 3 players here from the Orange Juicers. Enough time for the Dream Eaters to actually make the rotation. Here's the Talonflame. Gengar 100 is just hanging out. Probably going to go for a poach move here as Regieleki's getting worked on. Egg Bomb's up. We're going to come down, Craft Blade, Fly. No, clutched out by Zeraora. Now we're trying to Flame Sweep. You actually hit a couple targets a wall and the Regieleki. And Zeraora able to sort out Gengar 100. I think that's the first time that Gengar's engagement's been cut off like that. And Zera's still going after. We finally have a Cram Unite, put a Hyperspace hold down just for anybody that wants to reset. But they catch 3 bodies. Regieleki hits, and look at all that Eos energy for a gargantuan overdone.
Yeah, this feels like some kind of mini game that Flareon's is playing right now, but it's working out pretty well. Roland hiding in that tall grass to avoid the sightline of the Talonflame means that it'll be a fantastic overdunk for the Orange Juicers, and finally, it feels like they're on the board. That first Talonflame Unite move in that team fight, I actually don't hate it. They're trying to chase down that Zeraora, right, who was just on a sliver of HP. Any Unite move that gets them closer was going to be a well-worth Unite. However, the great play by Machislo, click that Unite move button, get that huge shield that Zeraora gets, and then a perfect response.
Nice ability of Ravage to put the pressure on Roland, but they go through their own hyperspace hole here and able to reset and watch that top path. We're working for vision here as the Reg Ice has hit the bottom part of the Thea Sky Ruins. Birds are up. Nobody seems to care. We're going straight past the bypass here. We've got a wall. We got a confusion blast. We got tons of damage, and we have a Regice gone before Dream Eaters can actually do anything about it. Now we're sieging. We got the Showtime with the Cram Unite tandem. They're sitting on top of the Dream Eaters who are trying to defend this goal zone. We've taken the Sky's Fly, land on Cram, Flame Sweep back the other way. Picks up a couple targets. Can they leverage KOs? No, because it's the Kratos show. Burning it down. Everybody's getting lit on fire like they're Duraflame logs. 3 down instantly. Dream Eaters are seeing their decent start wither away. No pun intended with the crit.
All Kratos needs to do is just avoid some of the crowd control on the enemy side, and so far that has been a very easy thing for them to do. A Seismic Slam literally out of that Brave Bird, like the Flame Sweep Unite, and they're able to just cause terror and mayhem right after that. So, huge play from Kratos. I mean, everybody else could be doing good stuff, and the Orange Juicers honestly are, but it's this Charizard stealing the spotlight time and time and time again.
Shout out to the Dream Eaters feeling the pressure here and running backwards. I don't know about this. I thought they had a pretty easy ticket to escape, but gave just enough, sandbagged it just long enough that they might get KO'd for that insolence here. Orange Juicers deciding to peel back. We do have a mean look on Zera. Aura Machizel's going to go and just nab a portal. Meanwhile, this Reggie-Alecki's knocking on the doorstep here. Zugrug's babysitting along with Kratos, and if they wanted to go in, I think they can make a real move. Looking for opportunities in Tier 2 downstairs. Solar Beam rings through for the Mew. Can't quite find a target, but we do find a reset for Machizel.
Yeah, Machizel now going to be forced to farm a little bit if they want to grab their 13. I think they were hunting for a KO to maybe give the prospects of 14 by Ray a little bit higher, but level 13 still solid. I think that's their Discharge Plus, so very, very solid plus move earned by that evolution to that level. Very fantastic stuff. 30 seconds left until the Rayquaza spawns in, and levels might be something that Orange Juicers can boast about, but pretty good looks from Dream Eaters as well. Ravage at level 13 doing quite well. Talonflame only at level 10, but I can't imagine for long. Ravage is actually going to hit that level 14 benchmark, holding pace with Kratos.
That's going to be important here. Ray in 5 seconds. Dream Eaters are going to need this one. They're down by 251 points.
Yikes, that is a metric that they are going to have to overcome, and it is not an easy task against our North American regional champs. That is not something that you ever want to see. Machizel and Ravage having a bit of a 1v1 on top side, but going to peel immediately back. But this is basically a line drawn in the middle of the map, and both teams going to play either side. No one playing for top, no one playing for bottom. It's just a brawl right in the face of Rayquaza.
Tons of damage. Finally, we have Machizel going in and backing straight back out. I assume using that Volt Switch to get that type of mobility.
Ooh.
Boosted auto just clips as soon as they're reset. They've moved on to Ray, though. We're starting to touch it a little bit to see if they can get Orange Juicers to have some fun with them. No, not yet. We're still dancing. Oh, big confusion engaged in the Showtime with the confusion blast into the wall. 2 players down in a heartbeat. Dream Eaters are watching everything slip away from them. Flame Sweep hits the wall because of course it does. Mew on the backside popped their Unite move, and they're just getting chased down by Kratos. Charizard showing no fear, immediately taking the hyperspace hole back after the rings are unbound, and now they're looking at Gengar level 100, and it's the Hoopa taking care of them. This raise at half, Orange Juicers don't even really need it. If they settle out, they've got a real chance to just come back into a fight. Hoopa comes back into the mix. Umbreon steps in. Umbreon steps out. Umbreon is down. Orange Juicers putting a squeeze on him.
Great team fight from the Orange Juicers, and I think we have to admit that it's always where this team has looked best. When we look in those clutch moments, this Orange Juicer squad is always going to be performing, and in these final Ray fights, they are looking excellent. Kratos' Charizard yet again just takes over. Umbreon even landed a perfect Unite to steal those Mr. Mime shields as well, but it just didn't matter. Charizard just grabs Umbreon immediately and then carries on in their merry way, raining hellfire from above. Game of Thrones level stuff we're seeing.
Yeah, Game of Thrones level stuff indeed, my friend. Orange Juicers really, I'll say at the start of the game, were trying to find their footing a little bit. I think the Dream Eaters had a great way. They're pressuring well. I mean, Gengar level 100 had 3 of those 4 knockouts, I think, in the first 2 minutes, right? They were really stressing the top path. It let Ravage kind of get online. But man, once Orange Juicers found their footing, Kratos hit Charizard, it was just a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, not even huge damage numbers, right? I felt like all of these team fights were very globally effective, everybody lending a hand to try to make these moments happening. It wasn't a single carry that was taking over. Yes, Kratos did land a pretty nice number of knockouts, but most of those were kind of in the collective. They were sweeping at the end of a fight, taking over. It's not like the damage numbers are necessarily going to reflect that. Kind of cool, though, to see Kratos playing a slightly different build on the Charizard this time around. Was playing the Fire Blast, so cool to see players experimenting now with different aspects of Charizard. Do we want to go with that more ranged build, or do we want that Flare Blitz for that extra bit of shielding you get when you engage? I've seen a lot of players try to Flare Blitz in and then Unite move just so you stack a shield on top of another one, and you're so tanky during the channel of your Unite. So, great start from Orange Juicers. Honestly, looking like our regional champs in North America. Dream Eaters, they can hold a candle, but it's they need to put in some work. You got to put in even more work if you're going to take down OJ.
Yeah, I mean, they are the best team in NA, right? Orange Juicers are. They earned that spot. They earned that title. Now, I mean, it's an opportunity for Dream Eaters to make their names known. Big shout out to Muck for the raid. Big shout out to Chad for the raid.
Thank you.
But in this moment right now, their back is against the wall. They need to step it up. They need to kind of isolate, okay, what were we doing right in those first 2 minutes? What were we doing right in our last set to be able to carry that momentum through? Because they really had Orange Juicers backs up against the wall in the first few moments of that game. I mean, Gengar level 100 looks like they were going to absolutely run away with it. Find that again, except extrapolate it over the following 8 minutes as well.
Yeah, agreed. Now, one thing I'm going to say I'm actually a little surprised by is that Dream Eaters are going to lock in second pick again. So they're going to repeat their draft position in game number 2. Now, while that is not exceptionally surprising, I think if they chose first pick position, they would be a little more likely to find something like the Mimikyu, maybe even the Gengar out of the draft. But now since Orange Juicers is just running back this exact same draft position, I don't see why they would change their bans. And yeah, no, they're not going to. It's going to be another Gengar Mimikyu banning phase. And again, I mean, that Talonflame did not look like the Mimikyu gameplay we saw from Gengar level 100 in game number 1 of their first set. So I don't know. I don't like not changing it, is basically what I'm saying. At least they do change something. Charizard will receive the ban. Blaziken can be banned as well. And, ooh, Ceruledge being taken away. Kratos, you called it out early, really does like taking the best player's Pokemon and just playing it.
I mean, look, it's like the greatest flex. You're on the best team in NA. I think Kratos has, like, hit a different level. I'm being completely honest. Like, their game has absolutely mutated over the last year, and to me they kind of feel unstoppable, so why not and they've got a great Pokemon, right? Oh cool, you took Charizard, I'll take Ceruledge, who cares? And you know he's just gonna slide right now. It's gonna be an absolute slide fest.
The story of Kratos, I think, is really awesome, in my opinion, for this player in particular. Of course, they have looked so fantastic, like, years after year after year. I mean, they've made Worlds every single year, right? Like, they have been performing extremely well, and now it feels like they're getting the recognition, but it's not like people are just finally noticing. I agree with you. I think they've leveled up. It's like they've forced people to notice, and I think that's sick as hell. So, honestly, I am a huge fan of what Kratos has been doing. Big fan of this pickup by Ravage. It is wild to me that this is the first Phalanx pick that we have seen so far this evening.
Completely agree. It's going to be a menace here. We usually see this reactionary Metagross pick out of Machisel into Phalanx. We've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, it's true.
It kind of seems to be like if this then that type pick. I don't think it's looked as amazing as you'd think, right, as a reactionary pick, but it does well enough, and it can really shift the tide. So I like where Machisel's at. I mean, I think these two teams are drafting pretty well right now. Yeah. And we'll see where Gengar. Well, okay. Well, all right. I'm not sold on Scissor, Scyther, wherever they end up there. I think they're going to get put in an absolute blender. Okay. That being said, the first 9 picks of this made a lot of sense to me.
That's so funny. Yeah, if I'm going to pick something here, it's probably Venusaur. It would be the final pick I would like to see.
Literally not this.
All right.
Okay, I'd love to be... Look, there's nobody that's a bigger fan of being proven wrong than me. So I hope Gengar level 100 has, like, the most barbaric stat line that we've ever seen out of this Pokemon. I'm here for it. And I will cast it as such, and I will gas it up to the gills. But man, does it need to look good, because, like, who is it going to contend with? What are you stepping into right now? Are you like always gonna like backdoor gank Flareons? Is that the strat here?
I'm here for that if that is the case.
What else are you gonna do? That's what they have to do.
I don't know. But hey, at the very least, we know that Ravage's character absolutely bodies Flareon's character. Phalanx is just good generically. I'm curious to see where it's at after the nerfs, right? It did receive a bunch of nerfs to the Iron Head and No Retreat. So potentially we see even a different moveset. I would love to see No Retreat Megahorn again. That'd be really cool. However, Inteleon's whole shtick is critical hits, right? Inteleon gives itself automatic critical hits by sending near walls, doing its moves. Phalanx reduces critical hit damage by a lot. That is like its whole passive. So I've not really seen an on-paper hard counter matchup in some time than Phalanx into the Inteleon. So late game, watch out for Ravage just to basically run it down versus the Intel, or the other side of that, maybe not even care. They're not going to be taking as much damage. They just want to be soaking that damage.
Ideally, they don't care, because that's the only target that Gengar level 100 can, like, actually 1v1 that I'm seeing out here. I mean, unless they're 3 levels ahead, they can scrap, but we'll see how it shakes out. Ravage caught in between those triple stacked walls there. Nice little body block, maybe a heal pulse out of Chansey to get Ravage out of dodge. But now they're going to be able to start working on the Bunnelby. Another wall up. And of course, we didn't mention this, Roland is actually the one on the Mr. Mime here, and I think Zug is on the Umbreon, yeah?
Okay, yes, a Mime support out of Roland, a pseudo-tank, pseudo-support. At this point, Roland is roll-swapped so many times, nobody can really remember what they can and cannot play. At this point, I think it's safe to assume the entire roster is in the wheelhouse of that player.
Of course. Now, we do have a Scyther. We didn't pivot to the Scizor. I didn't even check the items because I was still flabbergasted that they picked this Pokemon here. Try to go for Mr. Mime, but Boosted Auto clears them out. Are they going to get a knockout at least? Yes! Cramorant steps up for the big-time save after the Scyther did whatever it is they do. Now, Matang sorting it out back the other way. Is Scyther only good against whatever Electabuzz it was in the anime? Is that like the only Pokemon it can do good against? Because I just watched a Matang eviscerate the jungler for the Dreamy.
It is just, it goes without saying that I will miss 99% of the references that Dupe Snipes does somehow, but yet somehow I miss on a Pokemon anime reference. I don't know. This is crazy scenes out here. But yeah, Scyther not really cutting it so far. Its burst damage is strong. Its Unite move can reset if you can get
Who's it bursting? Everybody on the other team is gargantuan.
Yeah, Phalanx lowers him down. It's poke. It's fine.
Yeah, that dual wing beat poke action out of your Scyther.
Man,
That's
you're
what
talking
you want.
like Scyther like I talk about a Zoomeril. This is crazy. All right,
Listen,
Phalanx
to be wrong.
Phalanx gonna hold down the fort onto the top path at least. However, the levels are looking bleak on that top angle. Matang able to get a couple of chaos means Machisel is looking pretty. Level 7, almost at that level 8. The Metagross is exceptionally strong. The Unite move, that Compute and Crash, by the way, so fun to say. Extremely strong Unite. You call it the Coliseum. I call it incredible. It's so strong, and well, I think Machisel is going to showcase why it is one of the best Pokemon in the game right now.
Listen, it's an Inteleon with one snipe shot and just a quick little engage by Zugrug that's pinning down 4 players of Dream Eaters right now. Scyther stepping up.
They banned his Mons, man! I don't know what to tell you. They banned Gengar Mimikyu. This is where we're at.
Well, brother, I don't know. The Talonflame. Give me the Talonflame. No way you let Zugrug take this out from under you. No, it almost happened. Thank goodness it didn't. Cram securing it. Zugrug going down. But that's a positive exchange. That's a good little bet if you're the Orange Juicers. Now the Regieleki crashed on the goal zone. That was a Ganchuan Matang. Or excuse me, now it's a Metagross. It was just bodying so hard as the middle evolution. I forgot that it evolved and now it hits even harder. They're able to let that thing walk. That top goal zone's at 22. And I'll tell you what, the Juicers all night long have been great about attacking that tier 2 top path goal zone.
Yeah, I was talking a lot in I feel like the last game. Oh,
here we go. Just the Blissey getting caught. Scyther can't engage because it's a Scyther. And now the Metagross is working on a target. Scyther does go in. They have an opportunity. Cram spins them up. And they actually have to grab a berry because they can't sustain the A-press of the Metagross.
I've never wanted a Scyther to KO Metagross more in my life just to hear you stop talking about how bad the Scyther is. Yes! Let's go!
They got it! The whole cast showed up and they delivered another KO for the Scyther. They are heating up They had to hit their Unite moves, and they needed everything under the sun behind them to propel them enough forward. Bliss assistance on top of the Scyther to take down these birds.
This is the best day of my life! Gengar level 100 takes 2 KOs and does not go down for the troubles. Bliss assistance gonna help them with the escape route, and someone clip that, yeah, please. All right, Zugrug and Roland been holding down the tank for it, but it's Roland trying to cover this central area and keep Dream Eaters to their side. Johnny Noms eats a huge snipe shot. Flareon's is at that time of the night where they literally do not miss, and these snipe shots are causing absolute mayhem.
And Flareon's told me they ripped 2 or 3 cans of Code Red Mountain Dew before this game, and they feel online. As it's a KO streak of 2 for Flareon's on the nose. Zugrug cleaning up the trash. Roland cleaning up the trash, getting credit for the last one. These goal zones are shattered. The Dream Eater spirits are shattered. The Scyther is nowhere to be found. And they are losing by 293 points.
Remember that one time, though? Okay, let's go down. Quick burn.
Okay, it's Scyther time, baby!
All right, well, we do have Johnny Nubs trying to take some space. Snarl and the foul play Ingage has been the choice from Zugrug. Obviously, they have the support Mr. Mime. Still, though, you expect to see the healing options from the Umbreon in a situation like that, but they're going all in on the CC instead.
Yeah, nice little surf by Johnny Noms to try and at least keep Zugrug and Machisel spaced out. They do secure the Regieleki decent look, but again, it went down before the 4-minute mark, which means, oh, did we just use our compute and crash? Yes, we did. The Coliseum was built up, nobody caught in it, but now we're putting the dual wing beat, and that's not doing much damage. We have a slow beam on top of the Metagross. Is the follow-up's going to be there? It's Ravage going to try and get them done, but it's Kratos getting 2 back the other way, showing what a Ceruledge can truly do. Now, Metagross is super low. Do you want another knockout on a Metagross? Can we get one? No, we're flipping the script, and we're taking the bodies ourselves.
Yeah, Machisel's going to be just fine in this matchup. All they have left remaining is the Slowbro and the Blissey, and that is a Metagross that heals basically half its HP if it hits a Gyro Ball on either of those options. So, Machisel can apply a lot of aggressive frontline pressure with the Metagross. That is why you pick this option in draft, right? It can not only hold its own in the top lane, be a good objective secure option, it's got great last hit potential, bulky in its own right. In the late game, it literally does become another tank. It's Blastoise broken era metas of tank / all-rounder build. Metagross really does it all when it comes to the late game.
We're not at the 3-minute mark, and we're about to have 3 level 13s on the side of Orange Juicers. Always credit to Dream Eaters, though. They've done very good at trying to maintain some level of level parity, and we just have 13 on the Scyther here. From where they got it, I have no idea, but they're earning it in spades. Yeah. Let's see if the Dream Eaters can do anything with it now.
Okay, I like this push. Push onto the top side. There's absolutely nobody there, and for surprise change, Orange Juicers are not running the Hoopa. So finally, you have a chance to get a clean back cap, and that will be a goal zone break. Obviously, much needed. Currently, the Orange Juicers are holding on to a very impressive 389 score, like almost 400 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dream Eater's sitting on top of this Regieleki. They just want to make sure they can rip it as soon as it populates. Johnny Noms, in the face of a couple players, going to be watching that T2, just trying to get vision. Now, Roland does step upstairs. It's sussed out. The dual wing beat hits. 3 seconds till this Regieleki. This might turn into a Ray fight. Caught and blended immediately. Now, Metagross is able to fade back. Not an awesome catch for the Dream Eaters, and now they actually have to relinquish the position that they just gained for themselves on this Regieleki. Zugrug going straight for him with a little foul play Snarl combo, trying to throw what they can out of Phalanx comes in. Ravage is just a little too late and forces out the Unite move. They're taking this fight. Bliss is from long range. It's got 3 eggs around it, but they can't quite make it because of the wall. We're still scrapping, though. Zugrug's got the differential. Ravage is in no man's land, and so is the Slowbros. They're both sent to the Pokémon Center. Pivoting to the middle, of course, is the Orange Juicers, and I know my mic just popped when I hit that P sound because I brought the mic incredibly close to my mouth.
Tiny mic, it's got to be close. That's the whole aesthetic. But all right, Orange Juicers with a really good engagement there. They see the Phalanx have a nice push. Ravage gets a good positioning play. However, Orange Juicers makes the correct call to bail, kind of split that fight into get the retreat. It was a good moment, but Chisel in the mix of it now, though.
Right into the middle. We're seeing if this Phalanx can do anything. A showtime by the Mr. Mime. Roland sitting on top of Ravage, and the Metagross is there to just stomp them into the mud. Ceruledge just doing things. This might have been the most quiet game we've gotten out of Kratos, securing objectives, getting a couple KOs here and there. It's really been about Machisel this go-around, as now we have a Cram Unite going to try and prevent the scores with the shields, but we have a little eject button in, rolling, getting clever with it. Undo Burgers are being eaten. Dream Eaters are on their way out. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, all 3 sets tonight. Fastest Unite Mike's Mayhem in history.
Fastest tournament ever, tiniest microphone ever. Orange Juicers are fantastic. They are your regional champs for a reason. They are in the top 10 of the world's power rankings for a reason. This squad is unbelievable. And Orange Juicers got momentum. They have been crushing it in not only ours, but so many grassroots events right now. Orange Juicers they're looking dominant.
They really are. They're playing well. Everybody's kind of transcending. I mean, if you were to believe that we had some role swaps happening in this team, you know, a kid competing for their first time this year in Flareon's Roland, literally playing every single role. They look like they have been playing together forever. They look so good. Zugrug has found a confident home to play in. Kratos elevating their game. The Machisel has always been kind of on the fringes in Season 2. Season 3 has made it their own, have had some legendary maneuvers, and had a legendary game here on this Metagross. 137,000 damage.
That's a lot of damage. That is a
copious amount.
Someone buy that man the t-shirt I'm wearing right now, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Incredible stuff. Congratulations to Orange Juicers on an amazing tournament run. Cleaning house here at Unite Mike's Mayhem. A reminder, everybody, what they win is that $100 cash prize, as well as the invitation to July 31st final tournament of Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 5. It's going to be an awesome night. Currently, we have 3 teams decided. Only one more qualifier night coming up next week to determine what that final week's going to look like. I can't wait.
It's super exciting. Again, that final week, the Champions Week, is for $350 winner take all. That is going to be supported by Ingage, is that prize pool, so we're able to elevate it a little bit more than usual. So big shout out to Ingage. We have to give credit to the 2 sponsors that we have supporting us. So I'll talk about Ingage, and you can handle Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat. Engage, tons of community events in the scene, you know, working with Unite Battle Hub, doing things like podcasts, content creation, supporting us here, really have found their way to be a positive force in the Unite community. We're happy to have them. And of course, what Engage is working towards is an esports collaborative platform where you can really form and coordinate between, you know, people that are into producing, observing, casting, broadcasting in a general sense, hosting, you know, video editing, all this stuff to make sure that those folks can get linked together in community and find opportunities amongst themselves, and maybe even work together to find them outside. So shout out to Engage, and of course shout out to Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat, which would you please talk about?
Absolutely. One of our sponsors that have been helping us out for a long time. If you want to help us out, help out them out, and get a very cool t-shirt, make sure to use code UNITE15 at checkout whenever you are buying the More Chomp shirt, which I was able to debut a little bit earlier on today. It's got Machamp, he's got food, he's got drink, he's got weights. It's absolutely awesome. He's also got a beard. It's a great shirt. And if you are interested in like body positive men's clothing, look no further than Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat. They are great fitting shirts, which they got room in the spots that you want them to have room in. I absolutely adore them, and I got this shirt already, so you can tell I'm a huge fan. So please use code UNITE15 at checkout for a little bit off that shirt. Now, before we get out of here, I do want to say thank you everybody for supporting. Thank you so much to Muck and Chad for the huge raids tonight. If you are a fan of Dat Boy Muck and the Chad, like you and I are, Deuce Next, I would say hardcore fans. Yes. You are going to want to tune in to July 24th, Unite Mike's Mayhem, Week 3 of Season 5, because eKittens DM Me Please is one of the teams that will be competing that night, as well as Luminosity Gaming, Comatose, and Bits, I hate you for having to say this team name, the Happy Humpers. So, those are the 4 teams that are going to be competing next week in Unite Mike's Mayhem. Be there. Tiny Mike will at the very least make an appearance. I cannot wait. Anything else to say before we get out of here, Deuce Next?
Yeah, of course. Follow Bridget at Big Bridget on Twitter. Big shout out to Bridget for being in our chat all night. Big shout out to Gamma to help us with the observing. Big shout out to Tiny Mike for existing. And big shout out to the jumbo cartoon-like coin I just purchased for next week. Let's get it.
Let's go. I cannot wait to see Giant Coin. I hope that one shows up. But all right, everybody, make sure to tune into that stuff. The podcast will be back on Tuesday as well, if you're into that sort of thing. But otherwise, I hope you have an awesome weekend. Enjoy the new patch. I hope you get early draft games, everybody, and have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.
Tiny Mike.